Okay.
Welcome to the Borough EU debate. This week we have been politicians researching our focus arguments for or against staying in the EU. From managing and allocating our campaign budgets to creating our own merchandise and radio adverts. We have not only developed our knowledge by the EU referendum, but also learned how to work as a team, work independently and think like a politician. Before we start, here's a quick overview of what's actually happening.
A referendum is being held on Thursday, 23rd of June, to decide whether Britain should leave or remain in the European Union. A referendum is basically a vote in which everyone, or nearly everyone, of voting age can take part, normally giving a yes or a no answer to a question. Whichever side gets more than half of all votes cast is considered to have won. Prime Minister David Cameron promised to hold one if he won the 2015 general election in response to growing calls from his own Conservative MPs and the UK Independence Party, UKIP. The European Union, often known as the EU, is an economic and political partnership involving 28 European countries. It began after World War II to foster economic cooperation with the idea that countries which trade together are more likely to avoid going to war with each other. Being a member of the EU basically allows countries to move around and trade freely with each other.
Speakers, you will be given 3 minutes to present your argument. The audience are to remain silent until all candidates have spoken, and then questions can be asked. Audience, you must raise your hand and say the person who you are directing the question to. Over to our political campaigner, May Martin.
Hello, my name is May Martin and I believe that we should stay in the EU. What will happen if we leave? Your family could be at risk. Do you know how many jobs would be lost if you won't leave? 3 million. 3 million jobs will be lost in retail, hospitality and trading. This brings us on to the next topic, trade loss. If we leave, England will lose trade control. It will not only affect tradesmen, but also you. We get many tropical exotic fruits and vegetables from countries, Spain, Greece, France, Belgium, Germany and Sweden, and so many other kind countries. Your weekly shop would go up by £120, which is 3%. Not just that, but house prices will also go up, because there will be less demand and less immigrants. If we leave, you would need a permit to work in the EU. Your freedom would be jeopardised. If we leave, historians have worked out that we would not be remembered as in the future. Do you want to be homeless? Do you want higher costs? Do you want your family to be in risk of terrorist attacks? No. We are stronger together, part of the EU. Vote stay. Your vote counts.
Thank you, May. Let's move on to the next argument for Britain stronger in Europe, Laura Butler.
Have you thought about how leaving the EU will affect our trade? Being in the EU means that we have a special status for trading with other countries. Leaving the EU means damaging our relationships with foreign countries, which means that we will pay extra for our daily shop because our relationship with other countries means that we get a bigger range of products for cheaper prices through the EU. Have you thought about how leaving the EU will affect terrorism? If we leave the EU, there will be a higher chance of terrorists because the EU gives us protection and a connection to strong countries. Have you thought about how leaving the EU will affect our jobs? 3 million jobs will be lost if Britain goes on alone. Figures from the early 2000s say that almost 3 million jobs are linked to the EU and EU trade. Have you thought about how leaving the EU will affect immigration? On immigration, the government has negotiated a deal with the EU that will make us benefit system less of a draw for immigrants. In future, newly arrived EU migrants will not have access to certain benefits until they've worked here for up to 4 years. The government will also have greater powers when it comes to abuse of our immigration system. If we vote to remain in the EU, your decision will make a difference for our continent, our country and our families.
Thank you, Laura. Over to Living Councils arguing for staying in the EU.
Vote stay. Uniting to make the world a better place. Terrorism is a threat. Our country needs to remain in the EU. If we stay in the EU, terrorism will continue to be reduced because we form an allied family. Without the EU, the UK will be left weaker and vulnerable. Not only this, but information and intelligence would have worryingly dropped below standards. And what about the people in war-stricken homes desperate to seek refuge? Without our input, they'll proceed to live in countries of danger. Those in poverty will be left without a last resort, a chance. Leaving the EU won't only affect us but others. Would you want to sleep under a raging sky heavy with smoke? How would you feel to be in danger? Helpless? Being in the EU improves security for our country and provides people on high alert. Vote stay for an improved lifestyle. Thank you.
Time for a quick ad break.
The 23rd of June is on its way. Registered to vote. Britain stronger in the EU. It is better for me and you. The EU has a major influence internationally. If we give it up, it will be a catastrophe. Britain is stronger in the EU. It's the only way for me and you.
Vote stay to save your family from death. Your family could get killed by terrorists, so for the risk of your family, stay in the EU or leave and be in a high risk of losing your life and possibly be homeless. If you stay in the EU, you can vote, you can stay in your house and stay away from the fact of World War IV. Vote stay and save your life now.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We are now moving on to vote leave. Over to our first political candidate, Laura Flory.
Hello, my name is Laura Flory and I am supporting the Leave campaign. Leaving will improve all our lives for the better. We will have more of a say in what goes on inside the Houses of Parliament, therefore have more of a choice about how we are ruled. Instead of being, independence and leaving. This means that we have more independence as a nation. We will have more of a choice in how we are being ruled and a bigger voice within our Britain. Vote Leave. Instead of being asked to solve other countries' problems, we'll be solving our own, which brings me on to the subject of the NHS. As we all know, our NHS is falling into a deep pit with no escape, unless we act now. At this very moment, waiting rooms are full with weak, sick people who are possibly in serious danger. They need to be seen right away, but they're sitting down, waiting, getting sicker. What can we do about that? If you vote Leave on the 23rd of June, that could all change. Patients seen quicker, doctors and nurses supported for the better, all over a happier place to be cared for. £350 million goes towards the EU when it could be spent on more important things like wages for hard-working doctors and nurses, medical supplies and a new hospital to support sick people. Did you know that over half of the laws that rule over our great nation are not only created by the UK, but many countries that are in the EU? Ask yourself, is that how you'd like to be ruled? Britain has proved before that we are just as strong as ever without being part of the European Union. In 1975, we were strong, confident and independent, all without the help of the EU. Think about everything we have shown you today. Is it fair? Make your decision and vote Leave.
Thank you, Laura. Moving on to Dylan T, part of the Brexit campaign. Did you know that in 2020 our country will be full of immigrants? Our country's population is already 64 million, but we can't cope with any more people. We don't have the space, housing and food for everyone. We want to be able to give jobs and food to everyone in the EU, but we can't afford to give it to the EU. So we can only give it to the skilled immigrants that help out, pay their taxes. We tried to help immigrants, but they cost so much. We must leave to control the borders, to secure the money. We need to pay off our debts. We need to stop paying billions of pounds to the EU. We could be investing this money in NHS, schools and poverty in our own country. Vote Leave. Thank you, James. Finally, Vote Leave camp, graduating.
Do you want your money being spent on other countries? No? Well, it is. The UK is paying the EU £20 billion each year.
Leaving the EU would result in an immediate cost saving, as the country would no longer contribute to the EU budget. We are only spending 7% of what we send to the EU. That's only £8 billion on the NHS. We need to invest that money in our people, in our NHS, in our Britain. 86% of our people are reported to have mental health issues. Why isn't this money being spent on them? 9 million people do not have a job in the UK. We need to spend our money on our people. We need to stop investing in other countries and start investing in our Britain. We could spend that money on the homeless. So, vote to save our Britain, vote for a better Britain, vote to save our country, vote for a better Britain, and vote to leave. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates. We'll now take some questions from the audience. I must remind you to put your hand up and say who you're directing your questions to. Ryan?
To Bradley, what if the other countries need money more than we do?
Well, as I know, other countries are much more poor than us and need the money, but we also have a lot of poverty in our country as well, which we need to spend that money on as well.
£8 billion is quite a lot of money.
But there is over 64 million people in our country, which most of them are homeless or ill